Hopefully y'all can't hear the fan. Um, I've turned the air conditioner off for the night because it's um, finally cooled down some. I've just ate, so my COPD's bothering me. I apologize, but I am stoked because I heard some really good news about Rhea Ripley. Unfortunately, she's not going to be able to go to Money in the Bank, as everybody knows, but they don't think she's going to be out for very long at all. They're not allowed to say the word concussion, but that's more than likely what it was. And, her teeth got knocked loose, and like I said before, it looked like she landed a little weird in the, let's see, it was Liv Morgan, Dewdrop, her, was it Alexa Bliss? Anyway, there was like 4 or 5. I want to say Nikki ASH might have been in it. Anyway, there were several, and of course she riptied Dewdrop to win the chance. But at some point in that match, and I'm not sure when, I only noticed it in like wrestling news stuff, but it did look like she took a bad landing at some point, so it could be have to do with that. And of course she knocked out her teeth at WrestleMania Backlash. But I'm stoked that she'll be back soon because she's one of my favorites. Hopefully she'll be on Raw before SummerSlam. That would be great. Get some practice in. Maybe defeat a few people. Say that she wants Raw Women's Championship. Go after Bianca Belair. And honestly, I love them both so much, I can't even decide who I want to win. I just want it to be a clean finish. That's what I want, really. But I think that would... but I think it'll make... Either way, it'll make both women look good. I think they both bring a big amount of draw. Like if they were coming to one of the few arenas around here that they come once or so a year, even though the closest one's like an hour away that I know of anyway. If I could afford it at all, I would buy tickets just on them, just on either of these ladies, even if just one of them was there, and even if it wouldn't matter who they were wrestling or whatever. I don't think I would just want to see them there like they do on Raw, and I know that they don't televise it, so it wouldn't be anything like that, but you know what I'm saying. It would have to be a match. But if it was like Bianca Belair versus anybody, I would pay the money to go see it, and the same with Rhea Ripley. So I'm really excited. They're two of my favorites right now. Of all of them, but especially of the women's division. And there's some that I like of the men that I really respect. Cody Rhodes, and I love Seth Rollins because I know it's just an act, and I think he performs well. And I love Becky Lynch, and there's quite a few right now. But the only thing I've gotten tired of is sometimes they wrestle 5, 6, 7 times in a row. Pay-per-view Raw, or pay-per-view and then SmackDown, and then pay-per-view again. And in a matter of 4 or 5 months, they've wrestled 7 or 8 times. And I think I said it in a prior video. Like, yeah, when I was like 7, I want to say, like around 85-ish, 1985-ish, Ronnie Garvin and Tully Blanchard. Tully Blanchard had the television championship. This was in Jim Crockett Promotions. And him and Ronnie Garvin fought over and over again. And this was when J.J. Dillon was Tully Blanchard and the Four Horsemen's manager. But it wasn't every week they would have, even if it was no name that squash match, they would have, because like a lot of others have been saying, absence makes the heart go fonder. Let them have a fight with somebody else every once in a while, even if it's a squash match. But and then let them go after somebody else, and then go back to, in this case, Ronnie Garvin. You know what I'm saying? Because there were other times that he was after somebody else, because they were like, hey, you've been going back and forth between you and Ronnie Garvin, and say it was another babyface, they'd say, and I love Ronnie Garvin, but the Hands of Stone, that was his nickname, the Hands of Stone has had so many chances, and I want a chance now, and they'd give him a chance, and so then, when Ronnie Garvin and Tully Blanchard were wrestling again, it wasn't old. And they had countless matches, just on TV, not counting any of the house shows and stuff like that. And of course, that's not the only example. Ric Flair and just about everybody, when he was world champion at what later became WCW, and before that Jim Crockett Promotions. For a while it'd be Dusty Rhodes, and they'd have 2 or 3 matches, and then it'd be Sting, and then it'd be Ricky Morton, because Robert Gibson had an injury or whatever the storyline was, but it gave you a chance to not be tired of it. But I am glad to see Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. I can't wait for that to happen, and I can't wait for some of the other stuff that's going to happen. I just love it. I love that they seem to be moving the Happy Corbin to, was it Pat McAfee? It was one of the announcers. He started something with it. So I hope there's a fight between them, because Madcap Moss has been overdone, and I hope Madcap Moss can move on. I think he's just called Madcap now, right? Or Moss or something. Anyway, him, hoping that he can go on too, because I really like him. I really connect with him, and that's really what wrestling's all about. I heard Dutch Mantel recently say in an interview, it's not all about wrestling, and he brought up Jimmy Valiant, and I think that's mostly who he brought up, and he would dance all the time, and he'd tell you that. He danced, he did like 3 or 4 moves, he had a 2-minute wrestling match, people loved him, people would go see him, and he wrestles locally in independent circuits right now, and he's a big draw, and I mean, he doesn't make as much as he did in his heyday, but I guarantee you he makes a fairly good paycheck, because whenever he's on the posters as the main draw, they charge more, and they sell out quicker. So, not a whole lot more, but quite a bit more, and I'm sure he gets part of that. I'm sure, the company and all that does, and but anyway, I was really happy when I heard that, and that just because I think I've said before, WrestleMania is what brought me back. I've literally bought Peacock for the month. I think I got so long of a free trial, but I bought it for WrestleMania, and I didn't watch Raw before or SmackDown or any of that. I just wanted to see Steve Austin, and I had been watching classic matches and stuff like that, and listening to Jim Cornette on YouTube. But people started. I started watching some of the wrestling news shows like Cultaholic Wrestling and stuff on YouTube, and it brought me back into wrestling because a few years ago I was really into it. I've been into it most of my life, but there's been a few periods like this where, and I'm one of the last people to want to stop watching, you know what I'm saying? But when it gets to the point where I can't stay awake, because I'll take a nap just to be able to stay up till 11 p.m. I'm that type of person. If I normally can't stay up till 11, say I normally have to get up at a certain time, like when I used to go to my day program, you know, I would take a nap when I got home at 4 and sleep, and I would be up by 7 or 8 o'clock, and I would watch wrestling, and it was worth it to me. But if it's so boring, and I don't mind some stuff being predictable, like I saw Rhea Ripley join the Judgment Day, but it can't be boring. You know what I mean? And I wanted Rhea Ripley to join Judgment Day. Just, I thought it'd be a great push for her. I really like her. No disrespect to Liv Morgan, I like her too. And I want her to do well. But, you know, I hadn't seen Rhea Ripley before. This was new to me, and I think it WrestleMania, or maybe it was the Raw the next day after the 2 days, they had a tag team match, and this was before she turned on her. But you know, things like that brought me back to it, and I watched some of the pay-per-views and stuff, and that I'd missed, and things like that. And it was worth it to me, because really I'd been watching for 2 or 3 years when I had lost interest. Like, I remember 2014, 2015, when Seth Rollins turned on the Shield and he had the Money in the Bank thing. And I loved the Shield, but watching that, you never knew what was going to happen the next Raw or next SmackDown, and then it just got, I don't know, boring. But I heard 2 things today, and I already released one, but or it will be releasing soon. But Cody Rhodes is going to be back sooner than expected, which is great. And they did say up to 9 months, but I don't think it'll be that long. And yes, wrestlers have been out almost that long. It just depends. I think John Cena was the soonest with 4 months. The average wrestler's out for 5 to 6 months. But there have been a few that have been out 7, 8, 9 months. It just depends. With the particular injury he had, the pectoral muscle falling off the bone, which does not sound good. But anyway, I just wanted to share that. Rhea Ripley will be back soon. I really hope she's back before SummerSlam, definitely by SummerSlam. And with that said, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and bye.